Hey friends, Mr. Glaser again at my church with our organist, Mr. LeMahieu. He's going to show us the harpsichord, which this is a relatively new harpsichord, isn't it? 80s?
It is. It was made in 1981, so it's less than 40 years old, which for a harpsichord is pretty new.
They still make them. It's kind of like people think of it like as an old-fashioned piano. It existed before the piano, but it's very cool on its own, as you'll see.
So one of the interesting things about the harpsichord is that it has strings just like a piano, but a piano plays its strings by hitting the string with a little hammer, and the harder you play, the faster the hammer hits the strings and the louder the note is. The harpsichord plays its strings by plucking the string, and it doesn't matter. I can press let's see if you can see, here, you're good. If I press very lightly, or if I press very firmly, it doesn't make any difference. The note sounds the same no matter how hard I press. So you can only make the harpsichord louder by playing more than one note at the same time. The more notes you play, the louder it is, but there's no other way to make it loud. So I'll play a short little piece here on the harpsichord, and Mr. Glaser can show you the strings on the inside, and then this harpsichord here doesn't have a very fancy painting. It's just red. He can show you. One of the interesting things about harpsichords is many times there's like a fancy painting on the inside, so that when you lift up the lid, you can see like a beautiful piece of artwork even while you're playing. So I'll play a little bit.
Okay. I'm always curious, how does it make it so both keyboards play at the same time? What mechanism does that?
I think you can see on the, it's called coupling, and you can do the same thing on the organ. If you pull out the top keyboard, then only one keyboard plays at a time, and if you push this keyboard in, then I can play both keyboards at the same time. And the same thing is true with organs. On some organs where there are 4 or 5 keyboards, you can couple them or combine them all on one keyboard, so you only have to play one keyboard. But then as you couple them, the notes get heavier and heavier to push down, because you're pushing down all of those notes at the same time, even though you're actually only touching one keyboard. So that's another way to make the harpsichord and the organ louder, which is to combine all of the sounds into one keyboard.
The harpsichord isn't very loud by itself, is it?
But the harpsichord, and you can see how big this church is here. I mean, you could hear that I was playing the harpsichord if someone was sitting at the very far end of the church, but you couldn't really hear it very well, because the harpsichord isn't designed to be by itself in like a big concert hall.
That's why you don't hear many harpsichord concertos where the harpsichord plays with the orchestra at the same time. It's usually separated for its solos and things. Right?
Yeah, orchestra and harpsichord will take turns, because once the orchestra starts playing, the harpsichord is just kind of background noise.
In a lot of early symphonies, the harpsichord would accompany the orchestra, right? It would play chords along with them. From the composer would direct it from the harpsichord, right?
That's right.
Mozart or whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I guess that'll do it. Any other things you need to mention? Okay. Thank you very much, friends. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.